Hey lovelies, I want to show you how to hack today. It is a staple of using Maskcara Beauty, and it is what gives you that beautiful sculpted 3D face rather than a one bottle, one color, flat 2D face. So we are going to start with my main highlight, which today I'm going to use June. Sometimes I use Amber in the summer when I have a little more color, but I'm going to go with June today. And I'm going to use my Detail HAC brush, and I am going to put it in the areas where I feel like I need a little bit of coverage. So with foundation, you typically use that all over and you do a complete layer. And then if you're gonna do contour or bronzer or anything else, then you do another layer. But with Maskcara Beauty, it is more like a paint by number system. And so we're just going to put it in the places where we are not going to be putting the other colors. And they have a map that comes with every order on exactly where you would typically put these things, each color, each product. And if you would like to check it out, I can do a free custom color match on you. You can message me and we can figure out exactly what colors would work best for you. Here I am putting it kind of some extra places where I am going to have other colors because I have a little bit more freckling, a little bit more redness, and so I feel like parts of my skin, depending on the day, depending on the season, or just the coloring of my skin, I feel like sometimes need a little bit extra coverage. So I can do that, but you wouldn't necessarily need to put it much on your forehead, not really between your eyes, and not really along your hairline because we are going to be using other colors there. And I'm going to put it under here on the bottom along my jaw because no other colors are going to be there. And I like to use a brush. I've used brushes for my makeup for years and years because I have a lot of skin issues, and with my complexion and the texturing, I just feel like it gives me the most airbrushed look. The Perfector sponge that we carry, that works really well too, but this is my favorite and I feel like it's much faster, especially for me since I'm used to it. But you can totally do this with your fingers. You do not have to have brushes, but I just like to use those. Okay. So after you get your main layer, and by the way, you can do these in any order. I know women who will set their contour lines first and do that to kind of lay the map of their face. And I just prefer to do it this way. So you can do these in really several different orders. All right, so I am going to use White Peach for my brightening highlight. And again, I have a number of different colors just because some of those are color correctors and some of them depend on the outfit I'm gonna wear or the blemishes I have or the season. And so I like to have a lot of different color options, but most people start with just one main highlight and one brightening highlight and then a contour color. And then you can add from there if you want eyeshadows, if you want skincare. There are powder tins that you can put in your compacts, and perfume and lip balm and just all kinds of things. You can set your custom palette exactly how you want it with the exact products and colors that you want. So with this brightening highlight, I'm focusing it on the center part of my face because that's the part where you want the highlight, the attention to be on the middle of your face, and then we'll be contouring the outside that we kind of want to recede a little bit. And I'm using this small, and because it's really great for getting into the little nooks and small contours and curves of my face, and it's super duper soft so it doesn't feel prickly like I'm needling my skin like some brushes I have had in the past. So I'm just covering a little bit here for more redness. I'm putting it above my lip and on the top of my chin. I feel like it makes my lips look a little bigger if I put the highlight here and just to cover some redness and unevenness around my mouth. Definitely put it between my eyes because I have some redness there, and right above my eyebrows a little, and then I'll go ahead since I didn't put my main highlight in my temples today, I go back and forth on which one I use here, the main or the brightening highlight. And you wouldn't even have to use any at all since you're going to be contouring this area. But again, I just like a little extra coverage in some areas. Okay, so that is your brightening highlight. So under the eyes, we are making a wedge shaped and bringing it along the side of our nose. And that is the area that we are lightening up, want to get rid of those shadows and just have it really bright through there. I also love Sunlit and Linen. They do a great job of brightening that area up. And while I have my skin colors that I'm doing, I will show you. I have a blemish on my neck, which after starting Maskcara Beauty, I was really unsure about the cream colors. I have acne prone skin, I have really oily skin, and my face has, believe it or not, actually calmed down. So it's unusual now that I get a blemish, but I do have one on my neck. So I use two things for color corrector. And if my regular highlight colors wouldn't cover it, that is when I would go to a color corrector. I do not use the highlights on my neck because your neck is a little bit of a lighter color than your face typically, and I would put a little bronzer down there, but I am going to go ahead and put some, still my detail HAC brush, and I'm going to put some Mango. That is another highlight color, and it works really great for color correction. And there are a number of different colors that people use, but I feel like that's the one that works pretty well for me. And then I'm going to dip into a contour, and that is Aspen. And a lot of times when you're color correcting, only one of these colors is all you will need, particularly if it's on your face. This is a large blemish, and so there is some shadowing effect that is really hard to combat. And so I'm kind of using both colors here. And then we are not done. We are going to hit it with some Linen highlight just to kind of brighten that area a little more since it is on my neck. And we'll kind of buff that out so that the color doesn't stand out. And then I'll go ahead and set that with a little bit of powder. As I said earlier, we do have a powder tin, but they were out of stock when I put in my last order, and so pretty good, really good in person. I don't know how it looks on camera, but considering how much it sticks out in the shadowing, that's something that you would hardly even notice. So, all right. So that is all of my skin colors. Now I'm going to switch to my blush and bronzer brush. I'm going to use the large end, and I'm going to dip it into Bella bronzer. And that is our cream bronzer. And I've been using bronzers for years, and this is my favorite because it's not shimmery and sparkly where it's going to be a giveaway. It's a nice warm color. Some colors of bronzers are too brown or too cool or too ashy, or just they don't give that natural sun-kissed tan-like look. And that's the whole point in going for a bronzer is it gives you that sun-kissed glow. It brings life to your face. It just gives you color and just looks really good. I always say bronzer is life. So, and I am putting it all around the edges of my face. So along my hairline, down my temple, a little into my cheeks, I hit my nose a little bit, and then all along my chin and jawline. So those are the areas where we want our bronzer. And then I'm going to switch to the 30-second HAC brush, and I'm going to start with a little domed end, and I'm going to dip into my contour, which is Astoria. And I'm going to put it on almost everywhere that I put the bronzer on the outside of my face. The only place that I am not going to follow along where I put the bronzer is on the tip of my nose. I'll have it on another area of my nose. And I don't put it on the apples of my cheeks. We'll put it under, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. Now I put a little here above the outer part of my eyebrows, just because, again, with texture and even the shape of my forehead, I feel like it looks better. But you may or may not want to do that. If you have really great skin, really clear skin, a smallish forehead, then you may want to leave that area highlighted. So now we'll bring it down along my jawline and chin. And I forgot to put my bronzer down. Go ahead and do that. So having this makeup palette is really nice and great, having everything in there because it's right in your hand. It's like an artist doing a painting and everything is right there exactly where you need it. And so it makes it really quick, especially after you do this a few times and you kind of get the hang of it. Okay, so now I am laying my cheek contour, and I like to do that on the bottom of my cheekbone, not under it, because I don't want my cheeks to look saggy. And so we want it to look like high cheekbones. And so I know it looks a little crazy now. We'll buff that out in a second. Since we're doing contour, I'm going to use my eyeshadow everything brush, the little pencil brush end. I am going to use Aspen, that contour that I used as a color corrector. And I'm going to shadow under my bottom lip because it gives the appearance of having a larger bottom lip, and that'll look good when we add lipstick here in a little bit. Okay, so now I'm using my multitasker brush, and I am using kind of the diamond tapered end, and I am going to dip into that Astoria again, and I'm going to use this to contour along the side of my nose. A lot of people will use their fingers to do this. You don't have to use a brush at all. I've tried using my fingers before, but I just really like the really precise application of using a brush. I don't have a wide nose to start with, and so I just felt like my fingers made too wide of a line. And so, all right. So the point of contouring your nose is it gives a really chiseled, sculpted, polished look. It can make your nose look much thinner, which many people are about nowadays, and you can do it without a trip to a plastic surgeon. You can just do it with your nose contour, and you just follow the contours of your nose. You can make this line even skinnier if you want. A lot of people make them super close. It's all depending on what your preference is. And okay, so there we go. We'll buff that out in a second. I know I look a little crazy. All right, so back to the 30-second HAC brush, domed end, and we do not want to erase or move the contour. I'm just dabbing it along the top only of the contour. Unless your bottom's a little crazy, then you can do the bottom if you need to, but I'm just slightly buffing it and blending it so that when I put my cheek color, it's going to blend in well. And this is just gonna look like a shadow. As you can see, it makes your face look slimmer, it makes your cheeks look higher boned, and it's just a really nice look. All right, so back to the detail HAC brush, and I just take it and slightly kind of dot along my contour very softly, not until it completely disappears, because I laid it for a reason, but just until it buffs and blends enough to where it's not such a noticeable line. And you'll want to pull back just a little because sometimes you can't see it up close and things shadow differently when you pull back. So, all right. Okay, so that is our contouring. You can go ahead and stay spray in an X and then a straight line, so kind of like an asterisk. And it helps to set your makeup. I'm going to be going to a baseball game out in the heat and humidity of summer, and so I want it to stay put. It stays put. I don't use stay spray every day, and it stays put very well. I would have thought a cream based makeup might slide off of my oily skin, but it really does a good job. But I know I need a little extra today. And then, because I do get oily, I'm going to take the Perfector sponge again and dab it in some powder and just hit my T-zone a little bit. I don't want to do it too much, and I don't want to take it out very far at all, because I love the dewy, glowy look that mascara is known for. And so a lot of times I won't even use my powder because I love that dewy look. And like I said earlier, my face and the oil and acne blemishes have calmed down. So, but that glow, I don't know how well you can see it, but it just has a really fresh, glowy, healthy, younger looking appearance. And so I don't like to take anything away from that. This is one of my favorite parts, lip and cheek colors. And let's see, because I'm wearing navy, let's go a little more radical. Let's go with Dahlia. That is a beautiful, bright, practically neon color. And I'm gonna use my bronzer and blush brush. And as you can see, I just put a tiny little dot of lip and cheek colors, obviously, are going to be able to be used for either. So we'll use it for the blush and for my lipstick. And I am just going to dot it on, and I'm mainly concentrating on the back half of my cheekbone. And it is so pretty. These blush or lip and cheek colors, I have found that they melt into your skin so beautifully that no matter what color I use, whether it's burgundy or red or pink or coral or plum or anything, they just look so fresh and pretty and natural. And I like to go a little heavy because I like a little lip color. You could go even lighter if you wanted it really natural, but they're just so pretty. I'm obsessed. So, all right, now I'll wipe my contour off my multitasker brush. Actually, sometimes I use that contour to line my lips, but the brown would have been a little dark with the coral. So let's go with plum. I use my plum lip and cheek a lot to line my lips. Let's switch to the other end of my multitasker brush, the little domed end, and line them with that. And I go a little outside of my lip line. If you have a really flat ridge around your lips, you can get away with going quite a bit outside your lips, but I have a pretty defined ridge. And so if I do that, I look like I'm trying to be a Bratz doll, if you know what those are. And so I go a little outside. This is a great neutral color to go with so many of our lip and cheeks and line. It's really pretty on the cheeks also for a more neutral, subtle look. And okay. Flip back to the Dahlia. This is a mini double decker, so I love having the double deckers. And then my skin toned one is a full size double decker, and they even have triple deckers, but they were sold out last time I placed an order, and so things were a little low in stock because the coronavirus shut down. And but I think they're getting caught back up now. And so I'm just using that same brush, other end, with my Dahlia, and kind of filling in my lips. The lip line kind of helps to keep your color staying put and helps to make your lips look bigger. And a brush is going to give you more color payout. If you want a sheer or wash, then you can use your fingers on your lip colors. I'm going pretty light with this because it is so bold. And kind of mix it in a little, smudge it in with my lip line. Okay, and then I find if I still went a little over, I just blend it down like that. Okay, another fun part, let's go to Illuminator. I always put pearl on my nose, on the tip of my nose, because it gives that perky, I don't know if you can tell on there, but it gives a little perky tip up look to your nose. So I put that there, and then I put it on my, above my lip, upper lip. Like I said, I feel like that gives my whole upper lip look, looks like it's bigger and poofed up just a little. And then let's see, let's go ahead and use Glamazing. The powders are a little more concentrated, so you're going to get a little more payload out of those. And put that in the middle to make it appear my lips are juicier than they are. And let's go ahead and stick with that Glamazing, and I'll show you adding Illuminator to your cheek, not your under eye, but the very, very top of your cheek. It's so pretty. I don't know how well you can see it. I'm going pretty light, but you can go as heavy and powerful as you want on that. Okay, so that just gives you a little bit of sparkle, a little bit of shine, a little bit more polish. So, all right, so that is a quick how-to hack. I had already done my eyes. Obviously, talking to you, it went a little slower. Normally, you can do this very quickly, especially once you get used to the process. You have the map to show you exactly where things need to be. You can watch this video. You can contact me if you have any questions. I can help you out. I can help you with a custom color match. And it is easier than it looks, and it gets, you get much faster and much better as you go. And the payoff is so worth it takes you a few times to get the hang of it, because the look, I don't know how well under these brights you can see the 3D sculpted, but compared to a flat one color face, it looks so much better. So much more sculpted and detailed, and it gives you that depth that just makes your face pop. So if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you soon.